Good morning. I thought I'd just do a quick video so you can see what Italy is actually like during the lockdown, which we just had. The whole country's so-called lockdown, which is a good thing. I'll come on to that in a second. But yeah, so you see, this is what Italy's like today. There's not that much different at all, really. Very different to everything you're sort of seeing on the news and everything. Because obviously, their job is to make money by making you scared and click on stuff and things. Having said that, I'm super grateful that we're here. We're in the countryside here, which is great. I'm very grateful that I can work online. We've got internet, we've got electricity and stuff. And although I'm not actually earning anything right now, because obviously schools are all closed, so they're not buying things, I can actually work and do my art, my craft, which is making materials and helping people out, which is really cool. So I'm really grateful for that. And of course, not being ill, touch wood. So that's why I think the lockdown, it is a good thing, because it means hopefully we're going to get rid of this from Italy. And if everyone stays locked down, if people do as they're told, and stays inside and just does cool stuff, then hopefully we can reduce all the infections and things a lot, which is a very good thing. So for those of you who are on quarantine, obviously asking what it's like being on quarantine and things, it's all in your mindset. It's what you think about it. And if you think of it as a positive thing, you're helping the country by keeping indoors and keeping out of the way of people. That's a good thing. And then just using the time constructively. So, if you need to rest, take a rest. We've got 3 days here now, and I'm just thinking, I could just rest if I wanted, because, a lot of us live stressful lives. It's been a stressful few months. We can just rest and just take the time. That's cool. You can also use it to learn. You can use it to grow. What are those skills you've been putting off? Do you want to learn to play the piano, whatever it is? So one of the issues we've got is that I'm actually due to fly out of Italy on Friday. I'm supposed to go to the UK, and I'm not sure whether I will do or not. It's one of the disadvantages of being homeless is that, when in lockdown they say go and stay in your homes. I don't have a home. We're renting an Airbnb. So I'm supposed to fly to the UK. Now, I'm not sure whether I'm going to go there or not, because if I have caught anything, I don't want to pass it on to my mum. I don't want to take it anywhere else. So we'll evaluate that. But, if I do go to the UK, I'll just be inside practicing my piano skills and writing songs, hopefully. I say, again, gratitude as well on that. I'm very grateful that I've set up my online business. So as I say, even though we've got no income now because all the schools are not buying, then I've set my business up so we do have these reserves. 3 months, we will always say in all the business courses, make sure you've got 3 months of personal expenses covered, make sure you've got 3 months of business expenses covered. So when something like this happens, and it happens every 2 years, if not more often, then your business survives and your family survives, which, touch wood, hopefully we're going to be able to do, which is cool. Now, so with the quarantine, if you're on your own, that's cool. If you're young, free and single, stay indoors, don't go out, don't start spreading stuff, use the time to rest, learn, educate yourself. If you've got kids, I see a lot of people online, they're freaking out about saying, how do I keep my kids entertained? Oh, I can't keep my kids entertained. What do I do? It's like, that's not our job. Your job is not to keep your kids entertained. That's not what a parent's job is. A lot of kids, when you're talking about kids getting bored, being bored is a good thing, bored is what leads to creativity. You're filling your mind up all the time, using your conscious mind all the time, then you've got no space for those creative ideas. Those come when you're bored. And, all kids have got so many toys in your house. There's so many books that they've probably never read, never used. Let them get bored. As long as they're not playing up, as long as they're being brought up to be respectful and stuff, which I'm sure you have, then, let them be bored. Let them pick out that random book from the attic. Let them sort out play with some toys they've never played with before. When we're in Africa and India, we see kids who've just got a Coca-Cola can, and that's their toy, and they love it. Yeah, so even just one toy can keep a kid occupied all day. One tip though, sorry, I was looking at my notes here because I don't usually do these lives. I wanted to get everything right today and just get all my thoughts out here. So, one of the things is nature. So again, very grateful that we're in the middle of countryside here. So we've got the nature, we can pop outside. With your kids, make sure they're getting some sunshine. Even if it's just opening the window and just sunbathing in the window on a morning or one afternoon, whenever the light comes in. Take that, you need the vitamin D, they need the sunlight, it's really important. Also nature as well. If you can do some gardening, if you've got a garden, Or if you don't have a garden, then plant some seeds. It's springtime, plant some seeds. Order some on Amazon, plant them. Do something nature in the house. Get them to look at the house plants you've got. And if you've got beautiful trees like this, that's cool. But what house plants have you got? Get them in nature. Nature soothes kids. It's infinitely more in depth. It's fractalized, is nature. But however deep you go, there's still more to discover. Whereas man-made things tend to be more superficial on the surface, yeah? So get them involved with nature and let them get bored, And you see so many people, adults, saying, oh, if I get quarantined, I'm going to sit on Netflix all day long. It's like, no, it's like use the time constructively. Rest, very important, learn or grow, whichever you want. The other thing is, I've got so many things here. Teachers and be professional. Now, if you're a teacher, obviously I work a lot with teachers. Now, if you're a teacher, a few different options as well. If you're quarantined, then take the time off and rest if you want to. If you can afford to do that, if you set your business up so you've got 3 months expenses and everything, rest. Take the rest, enjoy it, chill with the family at school, buy a bottle of Prosecco if they've still got them at the supermarket, whatever it is. For those of you who have taken students' payments for the whole year, in September they pay for the whole year and you've got to keep going, just move online. Similarly, for those of you who are, you've got a mortgage to pay, you've got monthly bills to pay, you've got food to pay, we've still got all those expenses going out, then just move online, okay? Now, I know it's easy for me to say move online because, I've been doing this 20 years, so yeah, it is easy for me. It wasn't in the beginning. The only way, with teaching, we always say that with online teaching is if you're good teaching offline, you're good teaching online. If you're bad teaching offline, you'll be bad teaching online. But the good news is we all started out bad. The only difference between a bad teacher and a great teacher is that a great teacher has failed more times. So the more practice you do, the more bad lessons you do, you're getting closer to your good lessons. So don't let it scare you. Don't let it scare you. And we've, in the Genki English Facebook group, we've got a ton of info. We've got teachers who've done this, teachers who were terrified yesterday, and then they went online, did their lessons. A lot of teachers making a lot of mistakes. You can learn from that. We're all here to help you out with that, okay? So don't be scared of that. And then the thing about this fear and courage and stuff is, as I said, the newspapers, the biggest problem now is just hospitals, is there's not enough hospital beds for everybody, yeah? So, but the newspapers are just ramping that up and overplaying that because that's how they get paid. So whenever you look at a crisis like this, you always look at where's the money, who's getting the money, and the people getting the money in the newspapers, they're the people making their profits, yeah? Companies like Teladoc and Zoom are doing very well as well. But, it's the newspapers making the profit. It's in their interest to keep you scared, so you keep watching, so you keep clicking on the ads and they get paid more money. So a lot of you are scared of going online, are scared of just things in general, viruses in general and stuff like that. When it comes to viruses and stuff like that, the way we counter that is with education. That's why teaching is so important. Start teaching maths, start teaching science. One of the big problems when this hits America is we're going to have religion and things involved, which is going to complicate things crazily. So teach maths and science as well as the English, and teach reasoning and all these sort of skills. Growth mindset is really important, especially for kids seeing you. Kids don't do what we say, they copy what we do. So do you want them to be panicked and fearful, or maybe you want them to be something else? However you react now is the kids that you are growing up and what your kids will become. So if you're scared of getting online, if you're a teacher and you're scared of getting online, let's put this in perspective. Let's reframe this, as we say, okay? We need to put it in perspective, because if you're scared of saying, okay, I can't ask the parents to use Zoom, I don't know how to use computers, it's scary going online, what if I fail? Look, we're professionals, we're professional teachers. Now, let's look at another professional. Let's look at the doctors and the nurses in the ICU units. You read some of the accounts of what's going on there, and it's just crazy. They are just so overworked. They don't have the beds. They've got patients coming in. They don't know if they're infected. They haven't got time to do the protocols. They don't have the masks. They don't have the things in place. They have to go and treat the patients, knowing that it could put them at risk. They don't see their families for weeks on end. Some of them up north here in Italy, they haven't seen their families for weeks on end because they don't want to infect them. And in China and things, it's worse as well. So they're professionals. They just do it anyway. That is the key of doing it anyway. So my job usually with teachers is to build you up and say, it's going to be fine. It's going to be okay. Just do it. You've got the confidence. You can do it. I'm not going to say that now. I'm just going to say, be professional. If those doctors and nurses can do those crazy things, then for us, teaching online, telling the parents to download an app, sitting in front of a camera, it's easy. It's a no-brainer. We can't even compare with the professionalism that the doctors and nurses have got. So I'm going to say, if you're scared of it, just do it anyway. If you're a professional, do it anyway. Courage means being scared and doing it anyway. Courage doesn't mean not being scared. It means being scared and just doing it anyway. So go out and do it. Get online, take your classes online, help the kids. Give the parents a break, because when the kids are doing an online lesson with you, their mums can be off having a nice bath and relaxing for an hour away from the kids, yeah? The kids can be continuing their education. You as well can be helping so many other kids, because what we're finding is as soon as you go online, the kids learn so much more quickly, which is really cool, which is fantastic. So take that fear, use it. Courage means to do it anyway. If you find out you really don't want to do it, teaching might not be for you. So rest. That's good to rest. Think about it. Reevaluate your situation. Reevaluate what you do, what your role in the world is. And it might be that teaching isn't for you. It might be something else, okay? But don't let the fear rule you. Conquer the fear with courage. Dance with the fear, as we say. I'm just the same as well. So one of the things that we've had is a lot of the teachers are moving online. They want the kids to use Genki English, of course. They want to flip their classrooms. So the kids have got the Genki materials, and then in class they just use it. That's how we get the good results. But of course, without physical contact, we can't do the USBs. So usually teachers sell the Genki English software on USB sticks and give it to the students. Which of course, if you're in quarantine and you can't get around, you can't do that. And I don't want you doing that, because I don't hate anybody to get an infection doing that. So I just brought forward a new program now for the Genki English songs. I've been really fearful of doing it because I'm feeling it's going to devalue all the Genki English material, devalue the 20 years of work I put into this. But we just put it up there now, and we're just going to see how it goes. And if it's, it's scary to do it, but we've got to do it. And as I say, what we're doing now is, as teachers now, it's really important, but it's nothing compared with the sacrifice and everything the doctors and nurses are doing. So we've got to pull our weight and just conquer through and dance with the fear and get the courage in there. There we go. I think that's everything I just wanted to say. So, as I say, Italy, it's pretty much normal. As I say, I'm super grateful to be in the countryside, to have all of you, to be able to work. It's not, I've been through a lot of crises before, and, in quite a lot of dangerous situations and stuff. We've got electricity, we've got internet, we've got fresh water. That's all you really need, really. This morning we just went out and got some groceries, so that was cool. And if everyone goes on lockdown, hopefully we're going to stop the virus in its tracks. We don't really have to fear viruses and stuff, we just have to fear other humans and what they do, which again comes back to education, respect, growth mindset, not going out and doing stuff like hoarding food or ignoring advice and just going mixing with people and spreading the virus more. It's lock it down, 2 weeks, hopefully we can get this thing contained. Let the scientists do their job, come up with a vaccine. And hopefully if somebody could find a better business model for the media, that would be fantastic. So they don't make money on fear. If they could make money on information, that would be great. So if any of you are into that, that's cool. And if you're a teacher, either rest, get online, don't be scared, dance with it, and with your own kids as well, don't be scared of boredom. Boredom is what creates creativity and creates breakthroughs. You look at medical stuff, things like that, vaccines and stuff like that. A lot of it was done by people being bored or thinking about one thing, doing another thing, going for a walk, and then they achieve something. So there we go. Okay, I think that's cool. I think that's enough. If you liked anything in here, let me know in the comments. If there's anything I can help with, let me know. Check out the Facebook group for all the advice for doing online, and do your best for your kids and your students, or relax and take care of yourself. Stay at home if you're told to, please. And for those of you who are not on lockdown yet, enjoy the freedoms and everything, and hopefully we can all get back to enjoying the beautiful world very shortly. I'm Richard from Genki English. Bye bye.